At tonight's dinner, you had pickled vegetables, some boiled greens, and a few slices of raw garlic. All familiar dishes, all things you've always believed were healthy. You were taught, eat more vegetables, they're nature's medicine. And that was true. Vegetables were medicine. But your body today is no longer the same as it was 20 years ago, especially your heart. After age 60, blood vessels narrow, the heart weakens, and blood pressure becomes more unstable. Just one seemingly harmless dish, if used the wrong way, can cause your heart to race, your blood to thicken, or your pressure to spike without warning. It's not because vegetables are bad. It's because your body has changed, but you're still eating the same way. Cardiologists have warned. Vegetables that are great for younger people can carry serious risks for those over 60, especially if you're taking heart or blood-thinning medications. Coming up, you'll discover leafy green 5 common vegetables that can trigger irregular heartbeat, thicken your blood unexpectedly, reduce the effectiveness of blood thinners, or even allow bacteria to directly attack your heart. What you need isn't to give up vegetables. What you need is understanding, gentle adjustment, and eating the right way. Backhand index pointing right, and the first vegetable, often praised as a heart health superfood, can actually backfire dangerously if you're on blood thinners, and that is spinach. Pickled vegetables, the side dish silently pushing blood pressure over the limit. It sits quietly beside your rice. Slightly sour, crunchy, easy to eat, and deeply familiar in many older adults' meals. But behind that tasty bite, pickled vegetables hide dangerously high levels of refined salt. After age 60, your kidneys weaken and blood vessels narrow. At this stage, even a small excess of sodium causes your body to retain water to dilute the salt. And what happens next? Pressure inside your vessels increases. Your heart must pump harder to push blood through thickened flow. Pickled vegetables, when eaten daily, can silently raise your blood pressure, strain your heart, cause swollen legs, dizziness, and heavy-headedness in the evenings. Crossmark common misconception. Just a little pickled veggie. How can that be harmful? In reality, just one small bowl of pickled vegetables can contain 800 to 1,000 milligrams of sodium, nearly half the daily limit for people with heart conditions. When eaten daily, combined with fish sauce, soy sauce, or salty stews, your total salt intake may far exceed the safe zone. Warning signs. Mild ankle swelling by the end of the day. Shortness of breath after salty meals. Unstable blood pressure, especially at night. Rapid heartbeat even at rest. Mrs. Knock, 68, lived with her son and grandson. She didn't eat much meat, but pickled vegetables were always on the table. Despite taking blood pressure meds, her readings were still unstable. She often had swollen legs and a racing heart by late afternoon. After cutting out pickled vegetables for 10 days and adding bananas and steamed greens, her blood pressure began to drop steadily. Her heart rate stabilized for the first time in months. White heavy checkmark how to apply. If you crave it, rinse pickled veggies thoroughly in warm water and eat only a small amount. Choose lightly salted, homemade pickles without MSG. Pair with potassium-rich foods like cooked spinach, avocado, or black beans to balance sodium. Backhand index pointing right, but if you think only salty foods affect the heart. Backhand index pointing right, there's one hot vegetable often used to boost digestion that can make your heart race right after a meal. That is, raw bean sprouts, small, but a gateway for bacteria to attack the heart. Raw bean sprouts, often seen as fresh, cooling, and good for digestion. But did you know that to cardiologists, they're among the riskiest raw vegetables for older adults? And the reason is clear. Sprouts are grown in moist, dark, and warm conditions, the perfect environment for bacterial growth. Just a small amount of unwashed raw sprouts in a salad or noodle soup can carry E. coli or salmonella into your body. And for seniors with weak hearts and low immunity, the result may be blood infection or endocarditis, heart lining inflammation. Crossmark, common misconception. Raw sprouts are refreshing and keep the vitamins. Older adults often eat raw sprouts in pho, vermicelli, or salads, not realizing. After 60, your body doesn't fight off bacteria like it used to. Warning signs. Bloating after eating raw salads. Mild fever and fatigue for 1 to 2 days without clear cause. Joint pain or unusual heart palpitations after meals. Feeling weak and drained despite eating enough. Mr. Peter, 72, living in California, was hospitalized after several days of fatigue and mild fever. Tests showed salmonella-related blood infection. The cause? A beef salad with raw sprouts served at a weekend gathering. He said, "I've eaten sprouts my whole life, never had a problem. But this time, they put me in the hospital for 6 days and forced me to stop my heart meds." White heavy checkmark practical tips. Never eat raw sprouts after age 60, especially if you have heart disease, high blood pressure, or diabetes. If you enjoy them, lightly boil or stir fry. They stay crunchy and safe. When eating pho or noodles, blanch sprouts in hot water for at least 20 seconds before eating. Backhand index pointing. Right now you've learned about 5 familiar vegetables, but if eaten the wrong way, they may silently damage your heart every day. Raw garlic, the double-edged sword that can thin your blood to dangerous levels. You've probably heard. Raw garlic fights cancer, lowers blood pressure, and supports heart health. That's true, but only if you're not taking blood thinners. If you're on aspirin, warfarin, or any anticoagulants. Even a single clove of raw garlic can make your blood too thin to clot. Raw garlic contains allicin, a powerful compound that dilates blood vessels, lowers pressure, and prevents platelets from clumping. But when combined with medications that work the same way, aspirin, clopidogrel, your blood can become dangerously thin, leading to silent internal bleeding in the digestive tract, easy bruising without impact, and especially dangerous for adults over 60 with fragile blood vessels. Crossmark, common misconception. A little garlic in a salad, what harm could it do? But for someone on heart medication, just 1 to 2 cloves of raw garlic per day can silently cause stomach bleeding, with no clear symptoms until it's too late. Warning signs. Dizziness after meals. Sudden drop in blood pressure. Unexplained bruises on arms or legs. Dark stools, a sign of mild stomach bleeding. Mrs. Linda, 70, had high blood pressure and took aspirin every morning. Her daughter encouraged her to eat pomelo salad with raw garlic daily to detox. At first, she felt great, but after 2 weeks, she became tired, dizzy, and pale. A blood test revealed her clotting levels were dangerously low, with high risk of internal bleeding. She immediately stopped eating raw garlic and switched to lightly roasted garlic or black garlic. Now, she still enjoys the benefits of garlic, without the risk of over-thinning her blood. White heavy checkmark tips for seniors. If you're on blood thinners, avoid raw garlic. Use cooked garlic, roasted, lightly sautéed, to keep benefits while reducing risk. Consider black garlic, milder and easier to dose safely. Backhand index pointing right, but if you think spices are the last danger. Backhand index pointing right, then one harmless-looking vegetable, bean sprouts and raw shoots, could be the quiet path bacteria takes straight to your heart. Red chili, the emotional trigger that can push a senior's heart past its limit. Just one small slice of red chili seems like it only adds flavor. But for a heart over 60, it could be the spark that triggers an irregular heartbeat. Red chili contains capsaicin, the compound that gives it heat. It stimulates sensory nerves, causes sudden vessel dilation, increases adrenaline, and raises your heart rate. For younger adults, this might feel energizing. But for seniors with stiffened arteries and a weaker heart, this can become a silent shock to the cardiovascular system. Crossmark, common misconception. Many believe spicy food makes you sweat, detox, and feel stronger. They add chili to soups, stews, even eat it raw in pickles. But they don't realize. Just 3 to 5 slices of fresh red chili can increase heart rate by 10 to 15 beats per minute in older adults with high blood pressure. Warning signs. Heart palpitations after spicy meals. Fast heartbeat even at rest. Flushed face, tightness in the chest. Often followed by insomnia or dizziness. Mr. Leon, 66, used to be very healthy and the biggest spice lover in his neighborhood. But after 60, each time he had spicy hot pot, his heart would race, cold sweat would appear, and he had to lie down for 30 minutes. His doctor advised cutting out chili completely, but he still wanted just a little for flavor. His grandson suggested switching to red bell peppers, still sweet and aromatic, still colorful, but without overstimulating the heart. Now, every meal still has that vibrant red, but his heart no longer lashes out after eating. White heavy checkmark practical tips. Replace hot red chili with sweet red bell pepper or mild paprika. For gentle spice, use steamed ginger slices or a dash of ground pepper. Avoid spicy foods on an empty stomach. It can overstimulate the nervous system in seniors. Backhand index pointing right. But if you think spicy food is the worst threat to your heart, backhand index pointing right, then one familiar healing vegetable, when eaten raw, might actually thin your blood to a dangerous level. And that is raw garlic. The fourth food you should reconsider starting today. Spinach, the green leaf that clashes with blood thinners. You've heard many people say spinach is great for heart health, blood pressure, and circulation. And that's true. For younger adults, it's a superfood. But for seniors, especially those taking blood thinners like warfarin, spinach can become a backfiring wild card. This leafy green contains extremely high levels of vitamin K. Vitamin K promotes blood clotting, while warfarin works to thin the blood and prevent clots. When you eat spinach inconsistently, some days a lot, some days none, your body gets confused by two opposing signals. One wants the blood to clot, the other wants the blood to stay thin. And in the end, your heart pays the price. Crossmark common misconception. Many seniors believe the more greens, the better. They add spinach to every meal, forgetting. Just 100 g of spinach contains up to 483 micrograms of vitamin K, 4 to 5 times more than other leafy greens like water spinach. That's why your blood thinners may stop working, even if you take them exactly as prescribed. Warning signs. Unstable blood pressure after meals. Heart racing or palpitations after eating. INR test results fluctuating. Unexplained bruising or light headaches. Mr. Richard, 70, was taking warfarin regularly. But after 2 months, his test still showed his blood was thicker than it should be. The doctor asked in detail and discovered. Every evening, he ate a bowl of garlic sautéed spinach. After reducing to just twice a week, half a cup each time, his blood markers returned to normal and his heartbeat stabilized. White heavy checkmark tips for seniors. You don't need to avoid spinach completely. Just keep the portions consistent each day. If you're on warfarin or aspirin, consult your doctor before making it a regular dish. Try substituting with baby bok choy or tender mustard greens, much lower in vitamin K. Backhand index pointing right. And if you think salt only hides in fatty meat or sausages, backhand index pointing right, then the pickled vegetables you eat every day could raise your blood pressure faster than instant noodles. That brings us to pickled cucumbers, the second vegetable seniors with heart concerns must be careful with. The vegetables aren't the enemy, but your body needs to be understood differently now. You see, vegetables are not the bad guys. They're still gifts from nature. But when your body changes after 60, your heart needs new limits, new ways of eating, and new care. You don't need to give everything up. You just need to understand. Each green leaf needs its vitamin K measured. Each pickled bite should be rinsed of excess salt. Each chili slice, garlic clove, or bean sprout stem should be chosen with your heart in mind, not just old habits. This isn't restriction. It's a way of loving yourself. Through knowledge, through balance, through intention. Your heart has beaten millions of times throughout your life, and it still has time if you give it the right meals to carry on. Starting this very evening, you can begin. Green salad, choose steamed sprouts instead of raw ones. Garlic, use cooked garlic instead of raw cloves. Hot pepper, swap hot chili for sweet bell pepper. Leafy green, limit high vitamin K greens if you're on medication. Cucumber, rinse pickled vegetables thoroughly and eat them in moderation. Just one small change is enough to help your heart beat steadier, softer, and stronger each day. Backhand index pointing right. If you found this video helpful, share it with someone you love who's over 60. Backhand index pointing right, because one timely reminder could prevent one unexpected hospital visit.